Now, one of the main barriers that prevents leaders from reaching their full potential isn't missing the right skill set, nor is it experience or even training. The biggest roadblock is a lack of self-confidence. Why are these high potential employees, obviously talented, obviously have the skill, obviously qualified, questioning their skill and ability to do the job that they have obviously earned? Now, these fears, if you've experienced them, if you're going through them, are the hallmarks of imposter syndrome. And it's a phenomenon where successful people doubt their own competence. Or, if we want to use today's new titles, workplace anxiety. Now, imposter syndrome is not just for leaders or employees. As a matter of fact, it actually inflicts successful high net worth CEOs. In a survey conducted by Harvard Business Review, 116 successful CEOs were asked, "What are you really afraid of?" And they found that 63% were most afraid. And here in order, there is their biggest fear: being incompetent, appearing foolish, and above all, appearing too vulnerable. Imagine that, CEO not wanting to appear vulnerable. Now, the article went on to say that about 60% said that these three fears affected behaviors of not just themselves, but also their executive team. Although 95% said that the executive team members had a very limited view of their own fears. So how is this provide a competitive advantage? Well, it's on how you perceive it. It is a sign that those individuals are highly intelligent, driven individuals. Imposter syndrome can manifest itself in individuals in the workplace as an inability to internalize achievements and downplaying accomplishments. I call that a person who's shy and humble. A fear of being found out or being exposed as inexperienced or untalented. I call that a perfectionist. Avoidance of feedback. That's a person who's just driven by unrealistic expectations. A reluctance to ask for help. That person that sees himself as self-reliant and a self-starter. Turning down new opportunities because they're an expert in what they know. Second-guessing decisions. Someone is cautious or just pessimistic. Overworking to the point of burnout to prove you are enough. That person just has high standards and is an overachiever. Or failing to start or finish a project. They're just a socialite, too busy socializing. All of these can have a positive spin. However, when pushed to an extreme and driven by negativity or even doubt, it's when it becomes toxic. So how do we squash imposter syndrome? You must first identify and look for evidence of your capability and feedback either from your team or peers. So step one is identifying which of the imposter syndrome sounds like you. Once you do, you can start to transform them from a burden to a highly developed skill. Now, imposter syndrome can be used as a competitive advantage. To do so, you must first admit if you don't have all the answers, that does not make you a fraud. It's okay. As a matter of fact, it makes you and defines you as a leader they can trust, as together we can solve problems more efficiently, creatively, and collaboratively together. In order to create a competitive advantage, you're going to need a couple of things. The first, and by far the foundation of making this work, is empathy. Next is about recognition. You must celebrate the wins of yourself as an individual and that of your team, especially the small ones. Another way to turn your imposter syndrome into an advantage is the environment you create for yourself and as a team. Imposter syndrome affects us all. And as leaders, we can work to reframe that into positive characteristics that create a stronger, more well-rounded team and leaders for the future in the workplace. If this was of value, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, or even leave a comment. We don't sell anything here, so the only ask that we have is that you share this with others. I look forward to hearing you for the next one. Till then, have a great day.